I also do. All right, I think we are live now. So welcome everyone. Very, very happy to welcome all of you for this new live of Melanin Capital. We've been working on different live sections for the past month, discussing about the amazing journey of change makers all over Africa. And now we have the great pleasure and honor to support the crowdfunding campaign of Zafree Papers. So I am here today with the co-founders of Zafree Papers, with Bethlehem Dejene and Bethlehem Fikre. So I will call you Betty F and Betty D. So welcome both. Welcome, Betty.
Thank you. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you very much for making the time to talk to us about your amazing journey. We are very happy to discuss especially how you've been building Zafree in collaborations with the support of Seedstars. And for this, we have the amazing pleasure to have Alizé de Tonac with us. Hi, Alizé. Good evening. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us. We've heard a lot about Seedstars, and I mean, Seedstars is a well-known brand, but today we have the great pleasure to know a bit more about the organization, about you, and about how you select your amazing companies. So please, Alizé, the floor is yours. As the founder and partner of Seedstars, we'd love to hear more about your organizations and how you came across Zafree.
Yes, hi everyone, and I'm really, really honored and excited to be part of this campaign because I'm overwhelmed with what the two Bettys and Zafree are trying to achieve, and always in awe and impressed. So very proud to be here today to share to you a bit more about their story, but also about Seedstar. So we really started off 8 years ago with a mission to have an impact in emerging markets. And we thought it was really kind of that sweet spot between the rise of emerging markets, the real democratization of technology and using technology for impact at scale, but also kind of a global movement of a generation that believed profit and purpose could go hand in hand. And so we really wanted to take advantage of all these trends and try to support entrepreneurs in emerging markets that want to build scalable businesses. And so we've been doing that mainly through two main pillars, one on the education side. And Zafree was part of one of our programs and also part of the competition. They've been part of several initiatives we've done where we really try to understand what are the skills that they would need? What is the network that we need to activate? And of course, on the other side, a pillar of investment. So we invest in companies around the world. We now have a portfolio of over 70 companies, and half of that portfolio more or less is in Africa. And we will continue and support however we can so that we can have a better representation of the innovators and the talents around the world.
That's extremely impressive. A portfolio of 70 companies. Wow, that humbles a lot of VC funds around here. Can you tell us more about the process? How do you select the companies? How do you see the potentials of those great emerging entrepreneurs all over those regions? And maybe how for Zafree, it's the pinpoints that really struck you when you received the application?
Yeah, so I think it's really important that Seedstars, we always wanted to be bigger than ourselves. And so Seedstars really aims to be a platform where we represent all these different initiatives where we align on the mission and the values to move forward towards that mission. So we have different programs, different initiatives. We're mandated by public, private institutions to really support them in our respective missions. And that's so when saying that, I mean that our criteria of selection is going to depend very much on the initiative that we put forward. But maybe in general, as an investor, I guess it's kind of like every other investor where we really look at the team, the robustness of the team. We look at the fact, do they really want to do that extra mile, in the sense it really is a marathon? So are they passionate, resilient, agile, curious enough to gather the right resources, maybe talent, funding, and opportunity, so that they can scale? And then we look at the business in itself, the market potential, the maturity in that sector, in that geography. And I think in many ways, Zafree, so I had spent a bit more time to hear about, because I also had interviewed and connected quite a bit with Betty. And so from a personal perspective, as I was mentioning earlier on, I was I was really inspired by her story, by the background, by the sheer level of resilience. And I think for any crowdfunding, it's all about the story. It's all about the narrative behind, and it really is a beautiful one. So that for sure is a criteria that we want to look into, is that passion and resilience of the founders.
Amazing. Thank you very much for that. And of course, like we have, I'm pretty sure that the audience also has many questions about Seedstars, and feel free if you have any questions that you would like to ask Alizée today, this is the time. You have the chat and you can ask us questions. But now moving on from your process of selection, Alizée, I wanted to discuss more about the process that you are taking your startups through the capacity building programs, because Seedstars is really well known to be a leader in that field. So would you be able to walk us through the different programs and steps that an entrepreneur goes through when it comes into your platform?
Yeah, I think there really there needs to be a level of customization, so that our business assessment and the assessment of the founders of what we can bring on the table is very clear. And from there, it's really it's a kind of a recipe of activating the network, maybe for fundraising. I remember Zafree was in a stage of fundraising, and we were able to support them in their next round. Then there was a need to have very specific connections, maybe with regards to talent, maybe with regards to specific expertise in the industry, or potential expansion opportunities in new countries. And all of that is something that we try to customize as much as possible to the specific entrepreneur. And then there really is, I think at Seedstars, we didn't want to be investors. We wanted in the DNA it to be a company of founders, because we believed that it had to be kind of a for us, by us mentality, that if we were to give advice, we would have to at least try and launch businesses in these markets. And so we had our own incubator, we've launched our businesses, we've lived in these countries, and so we've always tried to share to our community and through our programs kind of the lessons learned as we are scaling our organization, as we are trying to go from MVP to more mature organization. And that goes from the type of dashboards we use to measure our experiment pipelines, to like, how do we disseminate a culture? How do we actually be very pragmatic about this? And we've learned so much from the different entrepreneurs. So there's really that kind of learning mechanism that we think is really powerful, this kind of peer-to-peer knowledge.
Wonderful. Yeah, very inspiring. Thank you very much, Alizée, for that. And I think I would like to hear also from Betty. And Betty, how you've experienced this whole process that Alizée has just told us about. And basically, what has been your experience for the moment where you received the Seedstars approval for your application, which is already a big thing, because you know that you're going to engage in such a international program and get access to all these networks. So can you tell us more from the moment where you received the approval to the time that you went through all those steps with the Seedstars team?
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Melanie. Say for being in this live session to say more about Zafree and to share your experience. You know, after joining the startup world and you know, being in Ethiopia, we've been facing a lot of challenge because the startup ecosystem in Ethiopia was not, or is still not, very much strong. It's at its very early stage. So being an Ethiopian startup was, you know, as it is, a very big challenge. Yes, we were very lucky to join an incubation center, which is called Blue Moon, that have been supporting us and also exposing us to the rest of the startup ecosystem. But we've been facing different challenges in terms of, you know, network, finance, you know, so many things like experience, expertise. And you know, through that process, you know, from the things we took from our incubation center, we were able at least to expose ourselves, at least on social media, our, you know, at least pre-marketing platform. So, you know, doing that, we were also exposed to Seedstar, and you know, the application process actually was very interesting. So I met the regional director, which is Claudia, and we have had a couple of interviews with her, and we were finally accepted for that category, which was the Land Dune Restoration Prize, the Land Restoration Prize, supported by Stitching Dune. So yeah, we were very happy to be selected to go for the Africa competition. Yeah, we were invited in South Africa to pitch. Even if like we were very lucky to win the competition, we were first place winners. But even if, like, you know, if it wasn't for the prize and everything, the connection, the network we made, the experience we took from each startup, understanding, you know, each startup's, you know, ecosystem, each country, every African country, the culture you experience, you exchange with different amazing entrepreneurs from different parts of the world. It was the experience was amazing. Like, I can say it was one of my best experiences from you know, any competition I've been to. And the you know, the thing I like about Seedstar is very practical. It's not because I listen to it here, but I always tell that to anybody I meet. So Seedstar is very practical. So one of the three key things about the startup ecosystem is you meet a lot of people that wants to support, but it doesn't, you know, go further, or it's not very practical. So Seedstar is very practical. They make sure that you get the experience that they are promising. And we've been getting mentors, and we've been able to meet with investors. We were exposed to an investors forum that happened, an event that happened online, the Global Seedstar Forum. So we were part of the investors forum, and we were able to meet, you know, a couple of investors, and now we've managed to raise a few amounts of money from investors from Seedstar that also brought other investors from their circle, because they trusted Zafree, because we came from, you know, a valuable connection, which is Seedstar. So there is a very high value in that. So, you know, we've been able to be exposed to international medias, like how we made it in Africa, which went very viral in you know, specific targeted audience, and that actually helped us connect with different potential strategic partners. So I can say, you know, like we've gained a lot from Seedstar, and I always tell to a lot of people that, you know, Seedstar have actually helped us, you know, stand in our 2 feet basically. And she's still here, and we say still here, from her precious time supporting Zafree. So yeah, like, definitely our experience with Seedstar was just amazing, and I recommend everyone to at least, you know, go through the opportunities that exist through Seedstar, because definitely worth it.
Well, what
That's overwhelming. Thank you for all the lovely things.
no, that's very important also, because this I think, like, when we have a lot of startups that come to get support, they want to get the funding first, but that's also very important that you showing what all the other things that Seedstars have brought onto the table and has helped you to come from a point A to Z. Betty F, do you have? Would you want to also share your side of the story of going through the Seedstars program and how it touched you also?
Okay, thank you so much, Milan. Betty D has explained everything I can say clearly. What I can add is actually Betty was the one representing Zafree. She is the face of Zafree, so she have been communicating Seedstar for the last time. So, but I can say Seedstar was like part of our family. I mean, it's a game changer for Zafree because we have been able to expose to different kinds of networks, and also the money that we raised right now from foreign investors. I can say, of course, it's not directly from them, but I can say this is their effort. So, I mean, Seedstar has a lot in Zafree. Yeah, this is what I can say.
Thank you so much, Betty. No, that's really a very important testimony, and we are very we're very honored to have this whole discussion because I think like when we are crowdfunding and discussing about the importance of supporting the growth of Zafree, we want to also take a step back and see what everything has been built so far, and that has made the company resilient, and that has put you in the trail of having a sustainable impact that would be able to last just because you've been able to be supported since the start. Maybe this comes to my last question to you, Alizé. After Zafree has come into your programs, like what would you have to say to the future donors of Zafree and who wants to basically get engaged into the fight of deforestation across the continent and wants to support a sustainable model that will really disrupt also the industry for the better? Like what would you have to share with them?
Yeah, I think I mean you said it very well. The mission coupled with extremely passionate founders with quite a unique story and a unique selling proposition for the industry so that we can reinvent how we are consuming. It are all the perfect ingredients to why you should crowdfund such solutions. So I think for individuals like institutions, it's really a way to not only position yourself as a consumer of what you expect on the market, but also position yourself as a citizen of what are the type of innovators and leaders you want to see more of, because they will impact directly, indirectly the future generation, which is your kids, your nephews, your niece, your cousins, uncles. So I think that's really something powerful. It has the whole storytelling and the reality of actually providing a concrete solution, which makes it a very powerful business to support.
Well, thanks for these very inspiring end words. Betty, then I will just let you, for the last part, explain more about the crowdfunding campaign and tell our audience how they can support you moving forward.
All right, thank you, Melanie. So yeah, our crowdfunding campaign has been launched on July 1st, and we've been doing additional promotions to get it out there. And so they can just directly go to our social media pages and simply find our GoFundMe link. It's on GoFundMe, and we're planning to raise 200,000 euros to support our business. So since we work with small partners, we have a challenge on our raw materials. So we are planning to make our logistics easier, to build more temporary shades and also to collect more raw material and keep in stock because our raw material is seasonal. So we want to make sure that not just saying we're going to do this, but we want to make sure that we're making it happen because once we set the factory, the biggest challenge is going to be our raw material, and we want to work in advance on that. So that's why we're doing our crowdfunding, and we believe you will be, everyone will be supporting our cause. So yeah, go to our social media pages, and we are also providing exciting perks like notebooks, customized notebooks that will be made with Zafree papers, and also a travel to Ethiopia that will give everyone a full experience of Ethiopia and also Zafree. We will be taking you on a tour to our factory, and we will be giving you the entire experience with our small farmers, and also, of course, some exciting stuff to do in Ethiopia. We have different packages, so go check it out. And also, of course, if you can't travel to Ethiopia, we will provide you with a virtual tour to our factory. We will be doing that as well. So yeah, just go through our perks. We'll be sharing more stories, more promotions on our social medias. So please help us make our dream come true.
Thank you so much, Betty. And I think like we are all behind you and supporting this amazing journey of like making the paper industry more sustainable. And as Alize said it perfectly, also preserving the future of our next generations. So thanks again for taking the time to tell us more about your journey. Thanks, Alize, so much for taking the time to talk about Seedstars and why you support Zafree. We'll get in the next episode on Wednesday to talk more about your full journey, Betty, and get more all the background behind this amazing idea of Zafree papers. And to the audience, if you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to reach out on all our social media pages, be it on Zafree Papers or Millennium Capital. We're here to help you and help Zafree to achieve their dreams. So thanks again, and I wish you all a great afternoon. Till the next time.
Thank you.
Okay.